This is about defending democracy. This is no longer Democrats versus Republicans. What do you want your kids to believe in? There must be give and take.
This is White Flag with Joe Walsh.
I am not Jewish. I'm a Roman Catholic kid, but I'm married to a lovely Jewish woman. A lovely Jewish broad, as my father would say in his not at all politically correct way. These past 3 weeks have been sadly a wake-up call for a lot of American Jews. Again, back up, you know me, you know my position. I am off the charts pro-Israel. When I was in Congress, I considered myself to be the most pro-Israel member of Congress. If I could go over there right now and help fight and defend Israel, I would. I don't need to talk about that anymore. You all know that, and on every platform in the last 3 weeks, I've made that clear, and I've lost plenty of followers on the left who don't like the fact that I'm so pro-Israel. It's been interesting in that I'm all about respectful dialogue about any issue, and I'm still about that. Always. I lead with that. This since October 7th, it's the first time in a long time that I've been very out front with where I am on an issue. And I've put it out there in very strong, impassioned wording, language. And it's been interesting because a lot of people have responded with, well, what happened to the new Joe Walsh? You're not very respectful of all viewpoints and all sides and all. So it's been a test of that. We'll get into that again another time. This past 3 weeks has been not a test, but it's been eye-opening for American Jews because they have their eyes are wide open to what is a boatload of anti-Semitism on the left. It's always been there. You've heard me say repeatedly these past 3 weeks, but I've said it before. I've always said it. The uniquely ugly, dangerous thing about anti-Semitism is that it is found equally on the far right and the far left. And that's true. The white nationalists, the white supremacists who say no Jews here. We see that anti-Semitism, and we've called it out repeatedly in this age of Trump. But the anti-Semitism on the far left has always been there, always been there. I saw it in Congress. The members of the Black Caucus, the most far left members of Congress when I were there, were not just anti-Israel. And you can oppose Netanyahu, you can oppose Israel's policies and not be anti-Semitic. I get that. But to hate Israel, that's something wholly different. To blame Israel for what happened on October 7th, that's something wholly different. To find out, to post and say that Israel bombed a hospital in Gaza, and then find out for certain that Israel didn't, and you haven't apologized for that lie, that's anti-Semitic. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib out of Michigan is anti-Semitic. She hates Israel. Free country, and she's free to be that way. She's free to think that way, and I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong for Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday, who introduced a resolution to censor Rashida Tlaib. I don't think members of Congress should be censured for their views, no matter how odious those views are. You've got a right to be anti-Semitic. American Jews, politically, this is not my wife, but politically have always been pretty left of center. American Jews as a body generally vote in overwhelmingly Democratic in this country. That politically they are more liberal than the general population. I've had a number of conversations with American Jews these last 3 weeks who are stunned. I use that word because they're stunned. It's a word they've used at the anti-Semitism they've seen on the left, at these demonstrations for Hamas that we've seen on college campuses and cities all over this country, from the river to the sea. The left demonstrating with signage calling for the genocide, the destruction of Israel and the genocide of the Israeli people. Members of the far left in this country have been saying that. And American Jews can't believe it. They never saw it. They never looked for it. The anti-Semitism on the left has always been there. It's just not just American Jews, generally all of us, we just tend not to call out the bad, the wrong, the ugly, the horrible when it comes from our side. We tend not to do that. American Jews are now confronting anti-Semitism on the left. It's real. And I think what's interesting is, and we'll get into this more later, some of the shifting political alliances. You've got Arab Americans, Muslim Americans who are so disappointed in President Biden that he's so pro-Israel since October 7th. He's been so pro-Israel in what he's said and done. A number of Arab Americans and Muslim Americans have said they're not going to vote for Joe Biden next year. That's it. They're done with him. Wow. You could see some shifting alliances where American Jews don't vote Democrat, don't vote for Democrats who are anti-Israel. I mean, I'm not even getting into, again, my former political party, how batshit crazy anti-democracy they are. All I'm presenting to you is that October 7th has been a big stick of dynamite politically in this country. And I think the events of October 7th and the response to October 7th is going to lead to, I believe, a major political shakeup in this country. I don't know how it's going to play out. But this anti-Semitism on the left has opened the eyes of a lot of American Jews. It's opened the eyes of a lot of Democrats in general who are not far left. Oh my God. It's something to watch. I pray for Israel. I stand for Israel. I pray for the innocent Palestinian people. And I want Hamas wiped off the face of the earth. That's what I want. Have a good weekend, everybody. Joe Walsh, be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow White Flag with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been White Flag with Joe Walsh.